Good evening, everyone. Jesus Andrade, running for Mayor of Stockton. First of all, I want to just thank all my supporters that are here today. They've been working in the trenches with me since day one, so thank you all. And I'm also feeling really good today because my Niners won last night. And I'm starting to, no, just go fund me first. No, all right, so listen, so three things, right? So the three most important issues are crime, homelessness, and public safety. Obviously, all four of us are gonna have to work on it every single day. But my three priorities. We need to focus on youth. One of the things that we're lacking is a youth advisory commission, an official commission that they can counsel, give advice to the city council. We're lacking that. We're like the biggest city in Stockton, California, that doesn't have that. The third issue that I want to work on is neighborhood councils. We need to empower our people once again. What's been missing in City Hall these last 4 years is giving City Hall back to the people and back to our youth. They're the ones that got to tell us what's going on and how we can move our city forward. So my time is up. Those 60 seconds go quick, y'all.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jessica Velez. I'm running for mayor of 2024. Top three are very similar to what Jesus mentioned. Obviously, homelessness is my thing. I don't know if any of you or all of you know, but I run a nonprofit organization, Red Rabbit Advocacy, and that focuses on homeless solutions and advocacy 6 days a week, 12 hours a day, basically funded only by the public. We've made miracles happen on peanuts, and that is why I'm running. Crime is tied to homelessness, obviously. Drug addiction is tied to homelessness and crime as well. Those are the three top issues for me. If we don't address those top three first, then anything else that we do will be built on basically quicksand. We have to have a stable foundation to build for everything else. We have neglected our youth, and that's why our crime is so high, and that's been going on for generation after generation. I know entire families that are involved in criminal activity. So my time is up. And
it goes quick. It goes quick.
All right. Check. All right. Hello, everybody. My name's Dan Wright. I'm a candidate for mayor. I moved to Stockton in '93 to work in South Stockton. My first jobs were as assistant principals at Hamilton and Montezuma Elementary Schools. After that, I moved to the central office and I've hired principals for a lot of the South Stockton community. I finished my career as interim superintendent of that SUSD, and I'd like to say very proudly that I left that $600 budget in positive status. The people that came afterwards were the ones that messed it up. I have 9 years as a council member, including 2 years as Michael Tuss vice mayor. So we have three priorities for my campaign. One is fighting corruption and incompetence. We all know what happens in this city if you're not paying attention to the money. Secondly, housing and homelessness. We're going to spend a lot of time on that at the next event. And then finally, public safety and community policing. I'm going to engage community and build partnerships through office hours and town halls, something I've demonstrated during my time on council. I'm going to use my state connections through Cal Cities, to Jack and the water boards to build those partnerships. Thank you. I'm done.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. My name is Christina Fugazi. I have spent 30 years teaching Stockton students, and I will tell you, there's an umbrella of issues that we have to deal with, but quality of life is really the baseline for that. So as we said, crime, policing, homelessness, housing, youth, economic development, all of those things. But what is the plan? What is our plan? That's the question you need to be asking us. What is our plan to get that done? Okay? So I will tell you, in order to get that done, we need to have respect. We need to be inclusive. We need to be fair. There needs to be equity, because there hasn't been any equity in South Stockton. My family is from South Stockton, and there's been zero equity. Go up north, you'll see a very different city of Stockton. So I will tell you that on top of that, accessibility. You have to be able to meet with the people at this table. Because guess what? City Hall is your house. These tax dollars are your dollars, and you get a right to say how it's spent.
So all of you mentioned public safety and crime as being really important. Our kids and our young adults are dying every day. and people are scared. How will you work to improve public safety in Stockton? What do you think are the most effective changes that the city needs to make? And Ms. Velez, we'll start with you.
Okay, so how will I work on crime, or
Public safety.
what would I do as far as keeping the public safe? Well, I would like to start with, I'm already doing that. By being out in the street every single day, getting homeless people housed, getting people into rehabilitation programs, getting people to stop committing crimes. I just had a conversation with a client of mine yesterday that admittedly said he stole about $75,000 worth of merchandise from the store himself. So by getting people off the street and getting them into programs and into jobs, I'm already doing that work. So what I'm running for mayor is to be able to continue to do that on a much bigger level. Probation reform, tying people into trades, using advanced technology to prevent crime before it happens, and just making sure that our police department is a healthy department that has accountability as well as support. And once we start tackling homelessness and getting people off of the street, the crime is going to drop significantly. Thank you.
Okay, so one of the big things about fighting crime is we've got to have the resources to do it. One of the things we did was reauthorize Measure A. Measure A was working until it didn't. And what happened was we weren't paying our officers enough money. What we had to do was rework Measure A, so we're able to do that. I'm proud to say that we've already done that. We need to hire progressive police chiefs who understand community policing and working with diverse communities. We need to hire officers that look like the community they serve. We need to continue to work at City Manager's Police Advisory Board and the Office of Violence Prevention. We need to have transparency in our arrests and convictions. We need to have interventions, investments in human capital, right? Father Greg Boyle, who founded Homeboy Industries in East LA, says it best. Nothing stops a bullet faster than a job. So let's invest in our youth. Lastly, if you hear the loud screaming out there for Prop 47 reform, we got to be careful with that because they're going to try and do away with it completely. Prop 47 was there to address mass incarceration, and we cannot let it be changed back to something that puts us back into mass incarceration.
Measure A. I don't know how many of you know about Measure A, but it's the 3/4-cent sales tax that you all pay here in the city of Stockton. It has garnered nearly $360 million in 10 years. It isn't working. It did not work. 234 million of that, 234, that's a huge number. It's supposed to be going to public safety. Can you feel safer? No. You feel safer? No. Probably not. There are other ways that that money could be spent than just on salaries, okay? We need people to be trusting. There is no trust. I know I've asked my students how many of you would go to an officer if you thought you were in trouble. Not a single hand went up. That broke my heart. We have to build relationships with one another. That's the only way, because in a marriage, if there's no trust, you think that marriage is going to work? No. It's not. So we need to be building trust with our law enforcement officers and the people in Stockton.
So when I read this question, the word that stuck out to me was scared. I'm like, my God, like people truly, and you feel it, people are scared. From the north to south, people are scared. And you can't really move a city forward if people don't feel safe. You can't have lasting progress, which what we're all talking about would make no sense if we don't secure the city. If our folks are feeling scared because they're scared of their neighbor or they're scared of the other, that's a problem. Stockton's one of the most diverse cities in the nation. It's fully integrated, and we have new people coming in every day. So if we're not talking to each other, that's part of the problem. Yep, part of the solution is our police force. When I was on the council, and I think we almost had about 480 officers, it was a safe city. But officers are there just to keep the peace. They don't address the root cause, which is we don't know each other. So here's a radical solution. I don't know if you guys have heard of third spaces. Look that up. What we need to do is build more bookstores, bookshops, pubs, breweries, places where we can meet. Right now, where you see the most diversity is you gotta go to Target or Walmart in Stockton. I kid you not. There's no other place. And so we don't know each other. We have to go back to knowing each other, meeting each other. And that's part of the solution too, is that we have to be respectful and know each other so that we can be helpful and be partners with our police. And my time is up.
All right,
Next question. So there's a Trust for Public Land is a national organization. They do a park score index data, and they include about Stockton and the 100 largest cities in the country. And that index shows that Stockton is number 100 in investing in its parks out of the 100 largest cities in the country. Most of our parks in downtown and the south side are run down and underused. Some are overtaken by encampments, all while our families need safe places to play and get outside. What will you do to increase the city's investment and attention to parks? Mr. Wright, you can start.
Thank you. So we're 99th in investment, but 78th overall, so that means we're doing something right. Okay? So in terms of the investment, we're working with what we have, and that's a diminished general fund because of bankruptcy and because of the low tax base in the city. It is what it is. So what can we do about that? We have to look for outside funding, Prop 68 grants and other discretionary grants from the state. We work closely with my council, with Senator Eggman and Assemblymember Villaputua to bring extra dollars to Stockton for parks, especially for parks. So, and for example, there was a Caltrans grant that we're going to get to do a park in underneath the Crosstown Freeway. Columbus Park got $3.4 million, McKinley $10+ million, and the California State Parks just released a $7 million grant for Van Buster. So that's what we got to do. We have to engage with our communities, take parks back, build systems to prevent decay, prioritize equipment for young children, especially we need parks for differently abled students. At the same time, Parks for All abilities need more access. We're restoring sorry. I'm done, I'm out of time. Couldn't get it all in. I tried.
those that are first shall be last, and those that are last shall be first. South Stockton cannot continue to be left behind. Actually it's 15 million now for McKinley Park. Have you seen it? Have you seen any improvement? No. You have not seen any improvements there. Last year, Measure M, which is a quarter-cent sales tax, brought in over 17 million. There's 35 million of unspent money in our library and parks and recreation program. There shouldn't be any charge for our kids to participate in recreation programs when we have money for them. They should be able to go swimming for free. They shouldn't have to pay to go swimming. They shouldn't have to pay to play ball. They shouldn't have to pay for any of those things. Parents have a hard enough trying to make those dollars stretch. But I will tell you this, that the transparency piece, y'all need to know what's going on with your money, and you need to demand answerability of your representatives.
All right, Jason, I'm next, right? All right, cool. So, Councilmember Wright, thank you for bringing the $3.4 million up for Columbus Park. Actually, I'm gonna give my wife the flowers right now, Andrea Andrade. She was part of that group with visionary home builders that actually organized the park, had voices from the community, and the unhoused at Columbus Park. And so that led to applying for a grant, $3.4 million. So I have the secret weapon in my own house on how to activate parks. But beyond that, it's a revenue issue. We need more revenue, which is what we have to do in the city to be able to provide our parks the safety that they need. But secondly, I will say this, we gotta think outside the box. We need public-private models for our parks. What used to work in Gleason Park, Union Square Park, these little small neighborhood parks, probably doesn't work now. They used to work in the 30s, it's different now. One of the things I wanna do is, think of Angel Cruz Park. All the food, the Cambodian food, and let's do permanent structures where they can sell food, where it's legalized, where they can have health permits. So now you have an activated park in these neighborhoods, and they're useful for these neighborhoods. People from Latin America, India, Philippines, they know how to do these markets. And so we have to bring in revenue through thinking differently, and I think a private-public partnership is the way to go.
So I have lived on every side of Stockton. I lived on Ann Street in Crow Valley. I've lived on Flora out west. I've lived on Grattan out east, and I currently live out north. Not one single park in this city is quality. None. Angel Cruz is probably the best one, which is by my house now, which I enjoy.
So you would like that? Yeah, you would,
Exactly.
right. See?
If we start keeping track and keeping people accountable for where the funding is going for these organizations that are supposed to be getting people off the street, that are supposed to be helping our children, I can guarantee you we can pull money out of a revised budget once we find out where all that money's going. I fight every single day to get the homeless off the street. I've been trying to open a transitional village for 3 years and have gotten the runaround by city council, by the city manager, the mayor, and that is why I'm running for mayor, because I'm tired of not being heard and not all of us not having a voice, period.
Thank you all. So those are the 3 questions that our committee developed. We will ask 1 or 2 questions from all of you, but we also, we're going to give another candidate for mayor who arrived a little bit later a chance to just introduce himself and join the panel. So, just join the panel. Yeah, please do. Introduce himself to our community and tell us what his top 3 priorities is going to be if he is elected mayor.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you first off for being here engaged. I know we've got a lot of experience and bright-minded people and people that are dedicated to the community just like you are. I'm proud to be your county supervisor, District 3, the preferred district we like to say, and we work hard every single day in San Joaquin County. It's time to focus on Stockton. Stockton needs attention, Stockton needs action, and we need results. That's the biggest factor. What do we need? Safe communities. What do we need? Economic development. We need education. We need our children to have a gateway to the local jobs, public-private partnerships. That's what makes a difference. We have businesses, we have industry coming in all over this county. It's coming into Stockton thanks to action. That makes a difference. We need to prepare that next generation for workforce development for the jobs that are here. I'm a business owner for decades. I worked with hundreds of businesses, especially when I was on the board of directors for the Builders Exchange. Over 400 businesses. You know what they need? Workers. So I'm here to help support all of that. Thank you.
What's your name? So,
My name is Tom Patty, County Supervisor. Thank you.
so thank you all for submitting questions. We'll be able to get to 1 or 2 of them. One of those was about downtown Stockton. What will you do to revitalize, bring more vibrant community to downtown Stockton? Ms. Fugazzi, can we start with you? Is that right?
I'm writing the question down because last set of questions were tough. So first thing we need to do is clean up downtown Stockton. You can't put lipstick on a pig; it's still going to be that pig. So clean up downtown Stockton. Then it will be attractive to people who want to come downtown. Because right now, people don't want to come downtown. They're like, "What's there for me there? There's nothing there for me." But there are businesses that are struggling to survive. Have you been to Sheila B's? Yeah. Yum, yum, yum. Okay, so go downtown and support these businesses. But, like I said, we need to be able to make it attractive to others to come downtown. Because right now, they don't want to come downtown. The other thing is, we definitely have to allow those people to have incentives to want to come down. We need a grocery store downtown Stockton. How are people going to live here and not have any food to eat, be able to get fresh fruits and produce? Because as it stands right now, you're going to have to go to a corner store to get food. And if you need milk, you're going to 7-Eleven, and we all know what happens at 7-Eleven.
Go ahead, next. We'll just go down.
Changing the order, right?
Sorry, we
All right, former council member Fugazi stole some of my points, but I'll go right back into it. We do need to revitalize downtown Stockton with economic development, but that's only going to happen if we have market rate housing there, folks. As long as we have nothing but affordable housing in downtown Stockton, that economic development is not happening. Okay? So that when that economic development happens, when that market rate housing hits, people have to move there. So there's only a couple of market rate projects currently there. So once people really invest in South Stockton and in downtown Stockton and build those opportunities for us to live there, we're going to have to get there on a leap of faith and create that market that people will come down to. Once that happens, we're going to be able to do a lot. The other thing we need to do is keep taking advantage of our event spaces down there. We have some great festivals at Weber Point. You know, we need to recruit more and more of those. Let's occupy that space every weekend, folks. Every weekend. Thank you. My time is up.
So I moved to Denver for 10
Here,
years.
here's that one.
Okay, so I moved to Denver for about 10 years, and I came back in 2016. This audience is exactly why I came back, the diversity. Our downtown has the capability to host a cultural arts center, food from all of our different backgrounds, but not just downtown. The south side, the east side, the west side, the only side that's actually developed is out north. So the whole entire city should be considered when we're talking about redeveloping the downtown. I just blanked.
Go ahead. There you go.
She's been up since 4
I
a.m.
have. I was doing the homeless pit count at 4 o'clock in the morning, so. Anyhow, that's part of my goal for downtown is creating a cultural district, and that way all of us can share our backgrounds and our history with each other. Thank you.
Good job, Jessica. All right, so this is a great question. I've already started working on downtown. Have you guys heard of the Stockton Community Kitchen? Where they sell incubators? All right, so part of my rationale for downtown is we're not gonna bring the big box stores, the Dave & Buster's, the Whole Foods. We have to start with the people who actually go to downtown, and that's us. That's people that look like you, people that sell food in their homes. We have to activate these spaces with locally grown entrepreneurs, and that's why I put my money where my mouth is. Started this program, it's phenomenal, it's winning awards, but that's just the first step. The next step is a food hall. Have you guys been to San Pedro Square in San Jose, all these food places? Stockton has some of the most phenomenal food entrepreneurs you can find, best food trucks, you name it. We need to put that in a spot in downtown where folks can come, feel safe, they can go eat whatever they want, be there with their families. And the last thing I want to do is the waterfront. It is the greatest jewel that we have that has been underutilized since my dad got here. My dad's in the audience. It's been underutilized. We need to activate because we need to bring in people from outside of the city to come and spend their tax dollars here, and that's how we create more revenue. So downtown's going to be a big piece in my platform.
So two things I would focus on right away. When I first ran for county supervisor, they were talking about anchoring a CSU in Stockton, and the Spanoses wanted it up on 8 Mile Road. That would do nothing for the city of Stockton. So I put together a petition. I've got several hundred signatures already. It was an idea, it was a motion. The CSU didn't end up coming here. But we can anchor education in downtown Stockton. Smart growth, infill, walk to work, walk to school. Secondly, family entertainment, a convention center, a hotel, a music venue. Let's create economic vitality. That's when people start coming around. Where the jobs are, you will find infill, you will find housing projects, you will find that private sector, that public-private partnership, incentivizing, utilizing our underutilized waterfront. There are chances of possibilities that are unlimited. 10 seconds, I'll be done. There are unlimited possibilities, but we have to do public and private partnerships, be smart, be effective, and utilize our assets.
So that was the last question for our mayoral candidates. Can we give them all a round of applause?
That was it?
Thank you all for coming here.
that's it.
Downtown and to South Stockton to talk to our
Wait, I had a closing statement.
I know.
No, I'm just playing.